to make some really good money. And
But we still don't need a bulldozer.
I know that, but
Not
it'd be cool to have
company.
like a D3. Even if I had to go open cab, I'd settle for an open cab.
You better believe you'd settle for an open cab.
What is my personal mission and vision for the company, all that stuff? It's always been, ever since I started, was to build a name or a brand locally recognized as being like the go-to people for the retaining wall nobody knows how to build or don't think is possible or whatever, and just being the go-to people for a solution. And I think here, 20 years later, and maybe even a while ago, like we've hit that. And so that's always been my kind of personal, mission with the company. And then the broader spectrum of that is like, I want to be a good place for our guys to work, somewhere they can work and make decent money at and retire from, we can get retirement stuff going from. So those are like my more long-term goals for the guys and stuff. So all our guys have been with us now for a few years each, and then Bo's been with us for 20 years, my God. But that's always been my mission, is be a place people enjoy being creative and building and working and spending a portion of their life at, right? So, yeah.
Who is right more?
Who is right more? Depends on what. Like right in what context?
Like all the time.
All the time. If I had to be fair, I would say we're pretty equal. You're dead wrong on stuff a lot of times, and I'm dead wrong on stuff times, and you're dead right on stuff a lot of times, and I'm dead right on stuff a lot of times. I think that's a pretty good split. I bet you have a different opinion.
What happens if
So
we
the question
separate?
is, what happens if we separate? Well, we won't, because we're so perfect for each other. We're in it for the long haul, and I don't think that'll be an issue. But otherwise, Brittany gets everything because of me crashing my first company years ago. I can't have my name on anything, probably for quite a while yet. So I own nothing, and so Britt gets it all. And then she's going to try to force Bo to take all of it because she doesn't want the company by herself, I don't think. So that's what happens.
Okay.
The audio is probably going to be terrible. So we had somebody comment and said that he would never run a company with his spouse or significant other because it wrecked his parents' marriage. And it's an interesting thing, and the way I look at that, and I'm just trying to work through this in my head, and hopefully I don't put my foot in my mouth or say anything too insensitive, but I wouldn't blame it on the company. I would blame it on the inter workings of the marriage itself, that they weren't willing to pull back from the company and put the emphasis back on their marriage as opposed to letting the company separate them.
Which we've fallen into that,
it's tough,
where we
right.
focus too hard on the company and
Right.
our relationship
Not on each other.
suffer on it.
Yeah, absolutely. There times get weird sometimes.
But I think you have to have a super strong marriage before you start. You have to be on the same page with everything.
Always, yeah. I mean, in
financially,
marriage,
how much
first
debt
off,
you're willing to go into.
Right. How much money are you willing to not make for the first couple of years, or that kind of stuff?
So if
is
that's
huge.
not discussed and figured out before you start the company,
Times will be tough.
Your marriage will fail, or the company will fail.
Yeah.
One or the
Just
other.
what are you willing to put up with, stress, debt, and risk wise, and time wise too, right? Running a company, you start a company, you're going to work 60, 80 hours a week guaranteed, no matter what, for a year at least, until things iron out. Unless you're just the most amazing delegator and time manager ever, which is few and far between for most people with startups. But in general, it's because it's just not even possible to not put in 150% effort. So if not 200% effort, you're working 80 hours a week.
And then once you have kids, then you have to give a little bit of effort to even more.
Yeah, you got to really maximize your time so you can spend time with the kids. Where we're at, I think we're trying to try to be as maximum. I'm trying to get up earlier and earlier every day to freaking maximize my time so that my evenings are with you guys and the kids and everything, right? So, but I think I wouldn't blame the company for the separation. I would blame it on the actual individuals because they didn't step back to actually work on their marriage first, which is what's most important, bar none, working on your marriage, right? So that's the way I look at it, at least. I don't know.
I think we're good.
Yeah, we're going.
Okay. How is your wife so much hotter than you?
What a ridiculous question. I can't even believe.
But you have a really good answer.
It's a close, I'm a close second at least, I think. So we're a real power couple. Okay, next
I
question.
think you're as good looking as I am.
Not as, but pretty damn close.
Okay. Okay. How do you separate business and marriage/family?
That's easy. We don't. It's tough to do that as a married couple in business that own a company together. Although I don't own the company, I'm an employee of the company. Technically, how do we separate that, Britt?
You can't. You can quit working at 4:30, which is our goal, 6 at the latest, and then we spend time with the kids, and then if we have to keep working, once the kids go to bed, we put in some late estimates if we're behind on those. But you can't ever fully separate. I mean, Caleb will get a phone call at 7:30 from a client that we're waiting to hear back from on a job, or a job that we're on, they have an issue and they call at 7 o'clock. So it never fully separates. There's times when we turn our phone off. We kind of have some rules or whatever.
Which is unfortunate because we don't do that enough, really.
But if you're going to run a company together and have a family, you have to understand that it's just kind of all together.
Yeah, you're always going to be dealing with it, and you're almost always going to have, it's hard to escape it, but we try pretty hard to shut things down by 6 o'clock if I'm not out on a sales call or having to work late on a project or something. We try to shut it down by 6-ish. But there's still things that come up, or I'll randomly be thinking of something like, hey, we should do this, or did so-and-so pay, or did we pay so-and-so, or did we email? So all that stuff kind of still creeps up, and it's tough to escape it. But at the same time, I love that lifestyle. It doesn't bother me at all because it's always on my head. It's all it's all I eat, sleep, and breathe is thinking about that stuff. So it doesn't bother me, but I feel like I'm always bugging you. So I'm in the shower, and I'm like, hey, you know what we should do? So I always feel like I'm annoying you with that crap because just all my brain thinks about is the company and work, and I love it. I just can't help it, and I love it. So.
And that's why starting the company was, we have to be like-minded in that, because
oh my gosh,
not
totally.
Anyone would tolerate talking about catch basins or
and
pavers
really,
in the shower.
If I didn't have anybody to talk to about it or to ramble or rant about that kind of stuff with, I'd really be lonely. In that regard, because that's one thing. It's as our connection is work, which is in general how I connect to people. Period. Is my thing. A connection of work. So. Anyways, this question's going on for 3 minutes now. I don't think anybody's still watching.
The next one is it worth it?
That's pretty generic, but the answer is yes. At the end of the day, really unequivocally, yes, it's worth it. I wouldn't keep doing it if it wasn't worth it, but
I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah, I can't. The only other thing I'd rather be doing is farming and ranching.
And I don't want to do that, so.
And that's still self-employed, so
Brittany, the question was, do you make more money than me, hourly or salary?
Yes, of course, because I'm the business owner, and all business owners
millions of dollars
should make millions of dollars.
Yes, right.
I am
That's
salary,
sarcasm.
and Caleb is salary, and then our employees are all hourly. But at the end of the day, I do make more money. Sorry.
That's okay. Not really.
Who apologizes more, you or me?
It's got to be you because you're wrong so much. No? That's right, you don't apologize.
I don't. Because I'm usually right, and I usually have the better idea.
Oh my gosh.
I knew you'd have a hard time with that.
Yeah, this question's over with, I think. So the question was if we waited a certain time.
A certain age to launch the business as a couple.
No, I started the company, or a company, 20 years ago, crashed it, and then her and I started dating and rebuilt the company. And long story short, we had a set of financial goals that we wanted to achieve before we were going to have kids. And as small as they were, financial goals, we wanted to achieve those before we started having kids, so things were a little more stable, a little more secure, and all that stuff. And we hit those little benchmarks, and then we decided to have our first, and now we're up to 3, and I think we're done. We're done. I know we're done. I think we're done with 3, and they're 3 wonderful children. Or with your spouse. What do you like about running it with a spouse? Let's say.
Having a partner in the business that kind of supports you no matter what. I think we do support each other no matter what. We have disagreements about our decisions.
Right.
Or,
for sure.
Order of operations, which is, I think, normal. But at the end of the day, like, you know, we started everything on the same page, like financially, and we
Right.
had goals. And, you know, when you have someone from the outside that is not your spouse or partner or whatever, I think, you know, you have two very different points of view, which could be beneficial too.
Right.
But in general, I like the flexibility of it.
Food's ready, apparently.
We'll revisit that.
All right.
I don't know. I couldn't imagine going and working for someone else right now, or maybe ever. I did for a little bit, and it just wasn't my thing. And I get to work with my husband every day, and some people say that's crazy, and some people say it's great. So I think it just depends on your relationship.
What do you
And
think about, like, the
working with
part
you
where-
specifically?
No, like, you know, working with our office at the house especially, but like you're
Oh.
never away from work, and that's the one thing. Like your time is flexible, but you're always thinking about work. Like what then?
I've gotten pretty good at just kind of realizing that, especially once you have kids, you just can't be in the office all the time. When we had no kids and we were really crushing it and hustling, we worked until late at night and did design work, and we'd be out until dark in the summer, like physically working. Kids slowed it down a bunch, but working out of the home is distracting, but I've also been able to watch all of our babies grow up, so.
The question was it always the plan to be in landscaping? And for me, yes. I didn't realize that when I started the company, I'd ever get out of lawn care. I always thought we'd run a lawn care division, but then after being in that so long, like, I kind of realized, like, at the time we couldn't. How long ago did we get rid of lawn care? Like, I couldn't.
5 years.
5 years ago, at least. Like, at the time, we started realizing, like, we couldn't give our customers the quality service they deserve in lawn care. So we got out of lawn care, went solely landscaping, and we were really nervous about that. We had one patio job scheduled that fall for the following spring, and I thought, after that, you know, where's the work going to come from? And we've never been slow since, but that was always scary. But yeah, the goal for me has always been to get into like landscape construction, you know, municipal government, any of that kind of work, green construction, environmental remediation, stuff like that. Always been my goal to get into that.
Next question. Does Brent make executive decisions since she's the boss? No, I don't get to make all decisions. That's too close.
Too close?
Too close. I don't get to make all decisions, unfortunately. You know, we're partners, and I respect Caleb's decision, and I think he respects my decision. We both have things like roles in the business that we do. I do taxes and invoicing and all that kind of stuff, and he does all your estimating and selecting what jobs we're going to do and ordering materials. So you know, we have our opinions that cross the line sometimes, but no one specifically makes the executive decision, I don't think. Answering time. If the question never comes up, who goes to the bathroom more and who delays our trips,